And the coalition of northern groups say the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu comes with mixed feelings of apprehension and appreciation. Well, condemning the federal government, that's commending the federal government and the agencies that made the arrest possible. The coalition says the time is ripe to tackle the Biafran issue once and for all through a referendum.
In its reaction, Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide and Igbo Socio-Cultural Association said the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu will avert another civil war and bring peace to the southeast. The group called for calm and cautioned the Igbo to desist from any form of protest and processions that will bring more catastrophe to the southeast.
Well, Arise News analyst Mahmud Jega joins us now to take a look at this development as we know. Thank you so much for joining us, Mahmud, tonight in the studio. Well, the information that we have for now, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu was arrested, but of course we know that according to Abubakar Malami, he was brought into the country on Sunday, and of course he was in court today. But a lot of people are concerned about the likely impact, especially as it concerns security in the southeast, which is already fragile, we've seen in the last few weeks.
Well, which was why this statement by Ohanaeze was particularly important, because instead of helping to calm matters, others might use it again as a basis for further agitation. But the fact is that this is a man who was facing trial in a civilian court for very serious charges, and he pleaded ill health and was bailed, and he jumped bail and resumed the agitations. In fact, it took a more violent turn after he went abroad in 2016. So we don't know, as you said, exactly how he was brought back, whether it was an Interpol arrest or even from where he is coming, because you see conflicting reports, or whether
I'll take it from the Attorney General. He says it was a collaboration between the security agencies of Nigeria and Interpol. So what's your sense of that collaboration between Nigeria security agencies and Interpol?
Well, Interpol is meant to do just that. If someone is a fugitive from justice in a country where the judicial system is democratic and works fairly well, and he would be apprehended if he jumps borders and will be brought back to face trial. The only thing is, I haven't had a statement from Interpol, and some are alleging that actually this is like some cloak and dagger security operation that brought him back. Whatever it is, the Nigerian state has to defend itself from a man like Kanu, because he was really inciting terrible violence in the southeast.
But if you look at the reactions now, especially looking at a coalition of northern groups, you're saying that it's time that we get to the end of the issue of the secession that is being called for in the southeast once and for all through a referendum. Whereas Ohanaeze Ndigbo, on the other hand, are saying that the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu really will avert a civil war.
Well, that northern coalition group is also, like almost another face of IPOB. They are also pouring kerosene into the fire. What referendum? A meeting of all the southeast governors and community leaders, and Ohanaeze disowned the IPOB secessionist agenda and said that does not represent the aspiration of our people. Why should anybody come and say, let's have a referendum to determine whether the Southeast will secede from Nigeria, just on the say-so of a man like Kanu, when all the responsible leaders of the Southeast have spoken as one and disowned the agenda? It was just pouring more kerosene into the fire. Yes.
Now, there's a very important issue here, Mahmoud. He returned to the UK with the assistance of the British government, which stated at the time that it had yet to proscribe IPOB or recognize it as a terrorist group. Do you see any conflict with Nigeria here, between Nigeria and the UK?
Well, these matters are murky. Like in the history of Nigeria, the most celebrated cases of deportation that we had was probably Chief Anthony Enahoro in the 1960s, which was done legally with the collaboration of the British government. Then we had the Umaru Dikko case of 1984, where the Nigerian government, military government, tried to pluck him from the streets of London. It didn't exactly succeed. Now, whether this one is like the Enahoro case or like the Dikko case, we are yet to find out. I suspect tonight or tomorrow we would hear some reactions from the British government and from Interpol and from others, then the situation will be clearer. But in any case, it is a coup by the Nigerian security agencies.
Well, it's quite interesting that, because if you go by what the Attorney General said today, he says this man was brought into Nigeria on Sunday, and no one had an inkling. There was no leakage as to what was going
very
on.
Surprising, very surprising. Well, it could have been, because if it went through British courts, then definitely, I mean, the media should have known about it. If not in Nigeria, even in Britain. But there was no report, either locally or internationally.
What does that say about our intelligence service, really?
Well, they are getting increasingly sophisticated.
All right, let me drop this question before our time with you is up. Now that the IPOP, the arrowhead of the proscribed IPOP, that must be said, is in government's net, what impact do you think this will have on the ESN, which is the security network of IPOP, and the activities of IPOP in that region?
Well, usually when you have a leader like that, almost larger than life, cult figure, his arrest might disorganize and demoralize the organization. The fact is that even in the last 1 week, after the Eastern community leaders disowned IPOP, we saw a noticeable drop in the violence. There was a noticeable
the
drop.
attack on
security agencies and the federal government agencies, and IPOP was very unhappy and was saying this, but we saw a noticeable drop. So we hope that his arrest and bringing him back to face trial might further disorganize at least the violent element. If people want to agitate peacefully for secession or for redress from injustice, that's okay. But it is the violence that is the terrible part.
Right. I'll leave it there for now.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us.